They say a picture speaks 1,000 words. These pretty plants that you see here are all ebony, except from those other ones. So it's mainly this in-your-face plants. That's ebony, ebony, ebony. The rest of them are also ebony, but grown in different soil mix. So all of these ones are grown in my advanced soil mix. The advanced soil mix is mainly to pretty up things, to make them compact and yet keep them fat as well, nice and chubby. Whereas the intermediate soil mix just mainly grows them big. You can see the difference in color as well. The intermediate soil mix in these three here are much greener compared to the other ones. Even this one is exposed to the elements, so it's getting morning sun and midday sun, and actually this is getting more sun compared to, say, this 1, 2, and 3 here, because those three I keep them there, so that's where they live, and they don't get afternoon sun at all. But those big ones, those three here, that's in my intermediate soil mix pack here in the tray, they are grown up here. So they still get a certain amount of afternoon sun. Even though I have a shade cloth over there, the sun still comes through here, and then they still get the sun shining on them. So they should technically be a more colorful plant. But since there's so much nitrogen in the soil, that's what gives the green coloration on the plants. If I want to grow a succulent really fast, I put it in my intermediate soil mix, but after it reaches a certain size, then I pull it out and put it in my advanced soil mix or my master succulent soil mix. So I mainly use my intermediate soil mix for fattening plants or making them grow fast, but they have a drawback. You can experience root rotting. Oh no, Romeo's dead. So this Echeveria albicans here is also grown in my intermediate soil mix. I wanted it to have pups really quick, and so those 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, there were 5 plants, and this one was going really well, and okay, you can see the still remnants of root rot. So it had 1, 2, and actually 3 babies, and then that one, look at, you can see all those babies there. Even at the back there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and probably more, and even the baby now is rotting. So I really need to pull this out. This one's, that one, you can see it doesn't have any baby, so it didn't have any root rot. So as that one, and then that one has got a tiny baby now, so it's really time for me to pull this one out. So these ones I really have to take them out and transfer them to my master succulent soil mix, because I am not gonna get any more babies if they keep doing that. Because the soil was too rich, or is too rich for the succulent. So therefore we've had a lot of rain lately, and I haven't even watered for the last 5 months now, and because we're just getting so much rain, and just when you think we have a couple of days where the sun comes out and then the rain comes again, so it's threatening to rain again. So I'm trying to talk really fast and do this really quickly. So this plant now, look, it's got root rotting again. So I only ever had these 2, which is actually really good, because that way I can show you the video of how they perform. Now these ones here are all different intermediate soil mix plants. So you can see this is Hercules, and I'm trying to get as much babies as I can from the Hercules, and these ones now are getting really compact and colorful. And these ones are Pellucida, but it didn't come with a name, but it's not a pure Pellucida breed, so I have to name it Pellucida, but I have to put an LK version if I do have to part with this plant and give it to someone else, just so people will know that it came from my garden. And here again, this is on an intermediate soil mix. This is Echeveria Gusto. See, look at, I love the gusto mas the way is all growing with putting out all babies. But then I am really worried as well that this might start rotting after getting the colorations. Then I have to really pull that out and put that into my master succulent soil mix. These two are same plant, bought at the same time, same size, and one is the master mix soil, this one, on a small pot, and this one is the baby mix in a bigger pot. So the size of the pot and also the soil mixture makes a difference. This video is about how to make an intermediate succulent soil mix. A big portion of my intermediate succulent soil mix is my master succulent soil mix. If you haven't watched that video, may I suggest you first watch my video on how to make a master succulent soil mix. You'll find a link to my master succulent soil mix video on the upper right hand corner of this video, or you can click the link below this video in the description box. This pot here are all plants that are grown in my intermediate soil mix, except for this one. This one is an Echeveria agavoides Frank Reynolds, and this is grown in my master succulent soil mix. This intermediate soil mix, I use this mixture to grow big plants. So this is an apis. That's also an apis. And these ones I've grown from a cutting from my mother apis, and I chopped off the babies, and now it's grown to really large size. This is my Echeveria apis, the mother plant. So this plant here is the original stock of where I got most of my apis from. And so you have the mother, and then it forms a baby, and from the baby I plant the baby again, and I also get babies from the babies. So that's the mother plant in the garden. So it's quite large, but it's not as big as the one that's grown in my intermediate soil mix. So the mixture I have in my garden is just ordinary garden soil, and I also top it up with my master succulent soil mix. This is my Echeveria Victoretta, grown in my intermediate soil mix that's in a pot here, and it's just gone amok. And this is also an Echeveria, but this one is called Echeveria Pollux. Pollux tends to grow big, but I don't know if they grow that big. And my other plants here, which even the weeds are loving it. Look how healthy the weeds are. So it's winter, it's just coming on to spring, but it's been cold still. Look how big that is. And this is also Victoretta, or Echeveria agavoides Victoretta. And look how big that is. It's huge compared to the ones that's grown in my advanced soil mix. So now I'm back inside. So this is now, this apis now is just grown so big, and since it's exposed to the element, what it's trying to do, every time we have a frost, it's trying to close off, and so that's why the center is forming like a ball. And also the drawback, okay, so I'll just show you first. So this is also an apis, but this is grown in my advanced soil mix. Now this one is a triple head apis. This is a beautiful plant. Look at that. So Echeveria apis, three-headed. So you've seen this in my other videos, but see, look at the difference of the size. And then this one has been grown in my advanced soil mix. So the advanced soil mix gives them form and color. Intermediate soil mix is mainly concentrated on trying to grow them fast, or grow them big and fast, so that I can propagate from them or take babies from them. But it's not all honky-dory in La La Land. There is a drawback in using the intermediate soil mix. Once they reach to a certain size or age, because every single plant is different as to the speed of growth. So once they reach a certain size, there you go. That's But what happens, because there's a lot of nitrogen in the soil, what happens is it's absorbing. It's just absorbing a whole lot of water, and what happens? Root rot. So you do get experienced root rot, not a lot, but I do get root rot only from the intermediate soil mix. Now that one might still grow, so I'm going to leave that one there. So this is, by the way, my Echeveria Victoretta, because that's what the label says. So this is grown in my advanced soil mix, and also grown in a small pot. Small pot, small plant. Big pot, big plant. Now this one, speaking of big plant, so this is now size comparison. Also the ones outside, it's really big, much bigger, and lots of babies compared to this one. This one is more controlled, the growth of this one, because there's so much plants, other plants around, and it can't grow, so it doesn't have the space to grow. So again, even though it's grown in my intermediate soil mix, it's still sort of contained, but still pretty big compared to, okay, I'm just going to pull back here. Look, size difference. Look at that, huge. Look at that one. So this is the difference in growing them in advanced soil mix and intermediate soil mix. So especially if you put it as well somewhere where it's shaded, then it grows even bigger, like that one in the back there. This is my decomposed granite. So you can use crushed granite available from the garden center, or granite that you actually use for landscaping. So I'm gonna take some of this in the bucket here. And I'm going to sieve it. And then I'll put this away into my other container here. I got all this mess here. There you go. So that one there goes in there, because that one I'll still crush that later on to use it again, of course. So it's just big pieces of granite, so which is not ideal for what I'm trying to do. So now I'm gonna measure 1 cup or 1 part. So hopefully we have 1 part. Now you notice all those small particles of granite. Okay, there you go. It looks like I've done this before. There you go. So that's 1 part of granite. The small particles, yeah, by the way, do not wash your granite off, because this granite, or the granite that you're going to be using, contains minerals. So it's got all sorts of good stuff that your succulent's going to need, and so, or your plants for that matter. And I'm going to get some coconut coir. So I'm just going to get 1 part of that, just roughly. And coconut coir is good for antibacterial purposes, and it also, all the minerals and the nutrients in the coconut as well, because this is made from coconut husk, it contains all sorts of good stuff that the plant needs as well. So that's why it's important to have that as well. So I get 1 part, and then 1 part. And okay, I got all these 3 cups here, but I don't need it. So this is my succulent master soil mix. I've already mixed up a big batch, so because I've got plenty of plants to do. So I'm going to take 3 parts of this. Okay, so 3 parts. We got 1, 2, 3. The fertilizer I'm using is this one, Right Grow. This is the cheapest fertilizer, and the reason why I picked this, not because it's the cheapest, yeah, that's one of the reasons too, but it just so happened it contains a lot of nitrogen, and nitrogen is the food for the succulents. This is what gives it the green color, and without nitrogen, with nothing will grow. So all the greeneries and stuff is because due to the nitrogen. And then the phosphorus is basically for roots and the size of your plant. And what does potassium do? Potassium is like an enzyme activator. So it's a bit like chewing your food. Okay, I'm babbling on about this. So this is the reason why I've come up with this mix, because after doing research as to the benefits of different NPK, is the nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. It's the ratio. So this is NPK, all-purpose NPK. This is not what I'm using, okay? Not this, I've emptied out, but this one has got before, okay, it also has high nitrogen and phosphorus 1.8 and potassium is 10. So 10, 10, you just have to increase your phosphorus. So if you get this fertilizer, which is the Brunings NPK, so if you do get like sort of equal, just about 10, 10 nitrogen and also potassium, then you have to get something which is high in phosphorus, which is the granite. So that is why do not wash your granite. You wash the granite off and that's it. Your plant's going to be depleted of phosphorus. So I'm going to get on with this now. Hang on. Yeah, I need fertilizer as well. So for this amount, so about 50 grams. You don't really need that much because there's already a humongous on this one. Now I'm going to use, say, about a handful for this lot. So there you go, and we'll mix that all up. Yeah, I nearly forgot. Also, 1 part of compost. Sieve it. Get rid of the big pieces and throw it all into the mix. So what you're going to come up with is a mixture that looks like this. So I'm just going to compare the two. So this is my Succulent Master Soil Mix on the right. This is now, look how beautiful that looks. Okay, we'll take it away from the red. Look. So the difference of the two. So this one, you can see that this got more coconut coir. And also, we know there's a lot of fertilizers, so which are those fertilizers. You can use any fertilizers, basically, as long as it's high in nitrogen. Okay, so now that one now, I'm going to have to put this away because I'm going to mix a big batch. What I have here are my babies grown in intermediate soil mix. Oh, look at them. Oh, gorgeous, gorgeous. I'm on top of the ladder. Look what I have to do. So all these pots here, the rectangular pots, they all contain plants that I've grown in my intermediate soil mix. That one is not intermediate. That's a master succulent soil mix that's grown on that one. And those ones are master succulent soil mix. And the rest of this gang here are grown in, hang on, I have to get up here. Look at them. These are all grown in my intermediate soil mix. Oh, look at you. You are so gorgeous. What are you? Graptosedum nova. You look like a jelly jam, but you're not. That's Graptosedum nova.